Okay, in this first module, we're going to cover a lot of great material. And basically, what we're looking at is an overview of the preparation necessary for you to get your act together. And what I mean by that is knowing what it takes to book a show in a major venue. Now, I don't know what kind of shows you're doing at this point in time, but I'm certain that you want to find ways to get bigger venues and higher paying gigs, which is great because that's really what this course is all about. Finding ways to put more money in your pocket and make you a highly visible touring act. So regardless of whether you're playing in a small town bar once a month now, or if you've never had a gig in your life, you're going to appreciate what we'll be covering in the Mass Music Exposure course. A lot of what we're going to be going over in the course are what I like to refer to as insider secrets that are designed to take you and your band to the top and to become, as I said earlier, the highly visible or the hot band in your neck of the woods. But of course, you don't just want to be a hot local band. You're going to want to take this thing national at some point and set up a nice tour for yourself and of course eventually hit the global stage. But I have to caution you that before we go any further, the methods you're about to discover are the techniques that, when applied properly and worked on consistently, will take you straight to your big break. And the reason I want to caution you is that if you don't have all the aspects of your act together, that's also where it's going to end for you. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and make an assumption that you know that your first break, and I don't mean your first show or gig at the local bar, I'm talking about your first really big break, like opening for the White Stripes or Sarah McLachlan, Michael Bublé, or even Lil Wayne if you're into the hip-hop industry. And of course, you can fill in the headlining act with whichever genre you like, but these are some of the acts that can be considered big. And when you get to that point that you've put all your marketing efforts together properly and you've gone out and you've successfully made the industry recognize you and give you a shot at the big time, you better be damn sure that you got your stuff together, because in this business, there really are no second chances. That big break is going to come once, and if you blow it, there's little to no chance for you to make it up or go about fixing it, so to speak. Now, I'd equate this big break to meeting the girl or the guy you've been after for most of your life. You can never really get the courage to go up and ask them out. But the time comes eventually, and when you step up to the plate, you know you got to hit all the right buttons or that's it. They're not giving you a second chance, right? So when your big break does arrive, you got to be absolutely ready to handle it. And that's what I'm going to help you take care of in this course. You're going to be a music marketing master when I get through with you. And the lessons you're going to learn are going to help you make your music career something that you can be 100% proud of, because you'll have done it on your own. You're going to be the one responsible for your success. And what's even better is that once you know this stuff, you can use it for any band you're in at any time, any future bands, or if you go into the management arena, you can use it for any band that you're managing at any time. Now, I don't know if you know this yet, but when it comes to promotions and getting gigs, there are some cats out there that can sell snow to the Inuit. You know, the natives who live up in the Arctic regions. And every now and then these cats, because they're so good at what they do, will get bands into some venues that when you see the band perform, it kind of makes you wonder how in the heck they got into this place. I've seen it 100 times personally. I'll be listening and watching a band play while I'm wondering why the heck the club owner would put me through this kind of pain. Now, I remember this one show I went to in Toronto. I think my friend asked me to come out and check out this hot new band that everyone had been ranting and raving about. So, you know, he's my friend and all, and we like the same music, so I'm thinking, what the heck? I didn't have anything better to do anyway, and who wants to watch television when you can go out and check out a cool band, right? So my buddy takes me to see this band, and I kid you not, they were terrible. I don't remember their name, and if I did, I wouldn't embarrass them publicly anyway, at least not here. I tell my friend, and he looks at me like I'm bananas. Anyway, these cats, no word of a lie, probably had the cockroaches running to hide from their music. So anyway, they finally finished their set, and here I am thinking, thank goodness. When I see all of their fans rushing up to tell them what a great show they just put on. And I'm thinking to myself, are these people serious? They must be kidding or something. Anyway, my bud and I found a corner to hang out in and wait for the next band to come up and do their thing. And I overhear this group talking about the last band that was up on the stage. And yes, they were saying exactly what I'd been thinking, that the last band sucked. So I turned to check out who's got the good ears and sense enough to know bad music when they hear it. And guess what? It's the same group that had gone to congratulate the band and tell them how great they were. The lesson to be learned here, and it may be going on in your band right now, maybe it's not, but it's something you need to be aware of, is that your music just might suck. And if it does, the sooner you know about it, the better. Now ask yourself how many bands you've heard on the radio or seen videos on MTV or Much Music that have a couple of good songs and then poof, that's it. You pick up the album and you ask yourself how you got fooled into thinking that this was good music. Now this stuff happens all the time, and it's not just you who feels fooled by it. It's everyone who's put out good money only to be had by a couple of good tunes and a whole lot of crap. And the sad thing is that some of these bands are huge. They have long careers and they make a decent living, but just imagine if someone had revealed the truth to them at some point in their career. What might have happened to their music? Could they have gone on to be much better? Now think about your band and where you are now. Do you have a lot of your fans coming up and telling you how great you are? I know it's cool, but are these friends and family? And do these people really know good music from bad? Not only that, are these the same people who would tell you if your music sucked or that you need help with your songwriting? And if they're not, I'd take what they say about your music after your show with a grain of salt. You see, it's really up to you to make your music matter. Now take the situation I talked about with those fans who told the band how good they are. Imagine that being your band. You think you rocked a set, you're feeling great, your fans are telling you how much they dug your music, but what they're really thinking is how the heck did you get that show to begin with? And again, this type of thing happens all the time, and it's really pretty simple to understand why. It's called social proof, or the herd mentality. What happens with social proof is that you get a few of your friends and family telling people about how great you are, so their friends come out to see you. Not wanting to be impolite, the friends tell you how great you sound. So now maybe you've got 10 to 15 people at your show who are dancing, kind of to be polite, and the people in the club see them rocking out to your set and they think, hey, maybe there's something to this band. So now they're becoming a part of the herd. And they get on the dance floor and they start rocking out too. So what was once 15 fans on the dance floor now becomes 25. And of course our nature as humans is to want to be a part of the herd. So the rest of the club gets to thinking that they're missing out on something and they join in. And so it grows. Now this situation might seem pretty great for the band doing the show that night, and it might be working for them for the next 6 months. But the problem is that when the band gets their big break, when it really matters, and the chips are on the line, and their music is not up to spec, and the band doesn't even know it, they get a great gig, and maybe some important people who really do know good music from bad, and your band flops. Now I said it earlier. You don't get a second chance to make your first impression. So when you do get that call for the big break, you've got to be absolutely certain and absolutely ready to perform. The music and entertainment industry is all about reality, especially if you're trying to make it as an independent band. And this is no joke, so it's time for a gut check, and it's time for you to get real. Now believe me when I tell you that one night might be great, but there's no way that the people who thought your band wasn't as good as they told you that night, there's just no way they're gonna dip into their wallets again and drop cash on your lame show. I can't put it any more real than that. Fans will not pay you if your music or your performance sucks. But the good news is that you can fix this. And hey, maybe this isn't you or your band. And if not, that's great. You're way ahead of the game. All you got to do is just keep plugging away and be ready for that big show when it comes your way. And this course is going to help you do that. But how can you be certain that this isn't you and your band? Remember, if you can't deliver, you're not going to last. So it's vital to your survival in this music business that you get it right the first time. Let's step back and think of it like this. You got a girlfriend, and she asks you if the totally ugly, dog ugly looking dress that she's decided to wear out with you that night is okay. Now you're thinking in your head, if I tell her it makes her look like a whale, then I'm going to be in the doghouse. But if I don't tell her, then she's going to be embarrassed in public and not even know it. Not only that, I'm going to be embarrassed. So you got the cogs turning in your head and you're stuck in this catch-22. And what do most men do in a situation like this? You guessed it. They tell their girl that she looks fine. The problem is in this situation that nobody wins. Your girl goes out with you and looks terrible. Plus you got to go out and be seen with her in this dog ugly dress. That's a lose-lose situation. And this is what goes on with a lot of bands all the time. A lot of people just don't want the confrontation, so instead of being real and really helping you and telling you your music sucks or your performance is not up to par, they take the easy way out just to avoid the embarrassment. Now it's time for some self-evaluation, and the only way you're going to be certain that your music is on track is to ask someone who doesn't have any interest in staying on your good side. Someone like an honest music reviewer or another band whose judgment you really trust and who isn't afraid to give it to you real. You know they're out there. It takes some work, but you just got to go out there and find them. And it might be a little hard, but take the time and do the work, because in the end, it's really going to be worth it for you. And if worse comes to worse, you can get covert and go underground and maybe ask one of your friends who you trust to go around and casually ask people what they really thought of your band after a show. They might start by saying that they thought your band wasn't really all that good, but they may have loved it. Point is, you got to go out and see what those real, true reactions are. And all I'm trying to say is that you got to get your ear to the ground and be certain that your music is good enough to move to the next level. You got to ask yourself, does your music really, and I don't mean a little bit, I mean really get your fans jazzed up? Or are they wondering why they support you? You need to know this, because when you step up to that big stage, and believe me, if you follow the steps I'm going to be outlining in this course, that big break will come. Then you need to be on point and you need to be ready to make it happen for you. The music business, again, is an unforgiving business, and if you drop the ball on the music and your stage presence side of things, you will be toast. Okay, so I hope I've gotten your attention on just how important it is for you to get your act together. And this first module is going to get you on the right step, and then we can move into the meat of the course. So basically everything you're going to be covering in this particular module, you can consider to be the nuts and bolts of what you're going to use to set yourself up for success. And by using my step-by-step process that I'll be outlining for you, you're going to be prepared to handle the rest of this course. So I'm giving it to you real, and that's how it's going to be throughout the rest of the course. So just get prepared, be ready. This is module 1, and we're about to really get started. So let's go.